learn how to install and run ComfyUI in RunPod. I will guide you through the use of this rental GPU service. You will see how to set a permanent disk, install ComfyUI with the manager and custom nodes and models. In the description of my videos you will find a link to access to RunPod. Use this link if you like the service and want to support my channel. Click on the top right to sign up to RunPod. Choose to sign up with your Google account, or use another email account. Use a secure password to create your account. A verification link is sent to your email account. Check your inbox for the message and click on Sign Up and return to RunPod. When the verification is done, you continue the sign-up process in RunPod. Fill out the forms with additional information. You can skip these steps if you want. Finally, read and agree the terms of service. You have access to RunPod. To start renting GPUs, you need to add some credits first. You can pay with your credit card or Bitcoin. Define the amount that you want to start with and the paying method. To add credits, you can use credit card or Link, formerly known as Stripe. If you use Link, click in the green button and a pop-up will appear. Add the email you use for Link and proceed to pay. In Settings, you have several options to customize RunPod. On the top left, you can also change the theme of RunPod. I like to use the night mode. To start with the installation, go to Explore and look for the ComfyUI Manager template. I have created this template so you do not need to use complicated scripts. Click on the template ComfyUI with Manager and Permanent Disk. On the top right, click Deploy. If you want the lowest prices, you can choose to use Community Cloud. RTX 4090 is available for a price as low as 44 cents per hour. However, after you terminate the machine, the hard disk information will need to be eliminated to avoid extra charges. If you plan to use ComfyUI frequently, my advice is that you use a network volume in Secure Cloud. Click on Network Volume and add a new one. The new volume can be added in several servers around the world. Check the machines available in each data center, because you can only use your disk in the server you choose. If you decide later to change the location of the network disk, you will need to copy the data manually. We create a disk in the server of Romania called Tutorial RunPod. The size of the disk is 100 gigabytes. For the 100 GB disk, the storage costs are $7 per month. Not much compared to other services. Click on Create to have a new network disk. Click now on the network volume you have created. Now you can select the cloud GPU that you want. For this tutorial, we select a RTX 4090. Scroll down to the bottom and click on Deploy on Demand. Your pod is being created. Now click on My Pods. The list of active pods will appear. If you check the details, you can see the machine running. Click on Logs to see the progress. If you click on the play button, you can tail the log and see what is happening during the installation. The first time you run the template with your new network unit, it will take 10 to 15 minutes. Be patient. All the files from ComfyUI and ComfyUI Manager are downloaded and installed in the network volume. When you run again the template with the existing network volume, it will take much less time. When the installation is finished, the pod is ready to use. Click on Connect and select to open JupyterLab and port 8888. The JupyterLab interface opens. Click on the Terminal button and execute the Run GPU script to start ComfyUI. ComfyUI starts loading and we can see the progress in the terminal. In the File Explorer of JupyterLab you can access the ComfyUI installation. In there you have access to the Models, Input folder, Output folder and Custom Nodes folder. After some seconds, the ComfyUI server application is ready. You cannot access to the user interface with the link shown in the terminal. Come back to the pod and connect now to the service in port 8188. ComfyUI launches and you can now start creating amazing workflows and images. This fresh installation does not have yet models installed. Go to the Manager, and then to the Model Manager. Here you can find a list of some models used in ComfyUI. When possible, install things from the Manager. Only install models manually when they are not available here. Let's install one of the Abyss original checkpoints to test the default workflow. When the download is complete, click on Refresh. The new model should now appear in the drop-down list of the checkpoint loader simple. Let's run the workflow. The first time you use a checkpoint, it needs to load, so it takes some time. In the next generations this will not be needed as far as the same model is used. Nice, ComfyUI works. To install custom nodes, go to the Custom Nodes Manager. A long list of node packs will appear. Simply browse or search for a specific node pack and click Install. In the Node Manager, you can also uninstall, update and fix the nodes if necessary. When the node pack is installed, you need to restart ComfyUI for the changes to be effective. Click on the red Restart button and OK to confirm. The server will take few seconds to be started again. You can see the progress on the terminal. When the server is ready, come back to ComfyUI and refresh the browser. ComfyUI is again ready to be used, but now with the new node pack installed. When you want to finish your session, just go to the pod and click on the Trash button. This will terminate the pod. ComfyUI will be disconnected, and you cannot use it or access the files until you start a new pod again. The next time you want to run ComfyUI in RunPod, go to Storage. Select your network volume and click Deploy. As before, select the machine you want to use. Check that the template you are using is the one with ComfyUI Manager. Click on Change Template and search for it, if needed. Click on Deploy on Demand to start again the pod. As you see, now the pod has started quickly. Wait until the Connect button is available in just some seconds. Connect now to JupyterLab as before in port 8888. If you now navigate to ComfyUI and the output folder, you can see that the files generated in the previous session are still there. Having permanent storage and using this RunPod template is very useful to continue your work where you have left it. If you run the Run GPU script, you can also see that ComfyUI starts normally. It still has the custom nodes already installed from the previous session. So you do not need to start and install all over again every time you start a new GPU. Start again ComfyUI. The new version of ComfyUI has a new layout. Click on the wheel to open the settings menu. You can choose between different color palettes. Select the one you prefer. Scroll down and go to the menu section, and you can change the new menu and workflow management option for top. The menu bar is now on the top. The manager can be found on the top right. The queue list is now on the left. The nodes can also be accessed by type on the left. Still, you can right-click over the canvas and navigate the nodes menu. And by double-clicking, you can still search the nodes, but now a longer list appears and you can preview them. Most interestingly, you can access more than one workflow at a time. In addition, the workflows can be saved in ComfyUI. They can be found in the user directory in your ComfyUI installation. If we create a blank workflow, now we can actually see that we can quickly access both loaded workflows. This is useful if you want to copy elements from workflow to workflow, or you want to work in a second workflow when the one is running. Let's add one of my workflows. An error message appears and a lot of red nodes are marked on the canvas. To fix this, go to the manager and click Install Missing Custom Nodes. Select all of them and install. This is the easiest way to install custom nodes of workflows you are reusing from others. While this is convenient, take into account that the installation will take some time. With rather new installations, with large node there may be the chance to have a timeout error. You can see, though, that the requirements are being installed, so ignore the issue. Many new Python requirements need to be installed, and that is why it takes so long. The installation of the next node packs will not require to install these packages anymore and installation will be faster. Because of the timeout error though, you will need to select again the rest of missing nodes and click Install. Installing the missing nodes one by one is also possible. You can then check if the installation is done correctly in the terminal. This workflow has a lot of custom nodes, and we are installing them in a fresh installation, so it will take few minutes. If you are starting developing workflows from scratch, you probably will not do it all at once, so the waiting times will be shorter. Click on Restart for the new installed nodes to be loaded in ComfyUI. But we will do this later. Now, we are going to install some of the models required in the workflow. This is a complicated one, so we see there are a few of them. We will need a SDXL checkpoint, the SDXL VE, and some ControlNet models. Go to the manager and click on Model Manager. Search for the depth and canny rank 256 ControlNet models, which are used in this workflow. Click on Install to install them. Many of the ControlNet, ClipVision, IP adapter, upscalers and others are available via the manager. I advise you to use it as much as possible because you do not need to manually install them. However, checkpoints and LoRaWANs are normally not available and will need to be downloaded and copied manually in the corresponding folder in ComfyUI. To download a model from vas.ai, do the following. Right-click over the download model and copy the link. In JupyterLab, navigate to ComfyUI and then go to the Models folder. The Checkpoints folder cannot be accessed via the menu, but can be accessed from the terminal. Write cd checkpoints and go to the Checkpoints folder. Write down now the get command as shown in the screen. For vas.ai models, you will need to write down the file name with the safetensors extension. pass the link and delete all the text behind the question mark. The model will be now downloaded. With the git command, the model is downloaded directly from vas.ai to the rented GPU machine. Still, you can download the checkpoint to your local machine and then drag and drop the model over the checkpoints folder in the Jupyter Lab environment. For LoRa's, the process is similar. In this case, the LoRa can be found in Hugging Face. Right-click over the LoRa file and copy the link. Navigate to the LoRa subfolder in the Models folder. Write down get and paste the link to the LoRa. Delete the text after the question mark and run the command. The LoRa is being downloaded. Custom nodes can be installed manually. Copy the Git address from the code green button in the node repository. Navigate to the ComfyUI Custom Nodes folder and access a new terminal from there. Write git clone and paste the address of the GitHub. The custom node will be installed. Normally, the custom node pack will require of a series of Python libraries you need to install. These can be found in the file requirements.txt. Go to the directory you have installed the custom node pack. Then, activate the VNV environment using the source command and the path shown in the video. You can now install the packages by writing pip install -r requirements.txt. In most cases, this will not be necessary, but for some experimental nodes you may want to learn how to do it. Update of the nodes require using the git pull command. Now we can restart ComfyUI. After installing a lot of new node packs, it is good to monitor that the installation is complete and good. Most of the times is good, but sometimes you may need to fix or reinstall some custom nodes. We have done good this time. Go back to ComfyUI and refresh the browser. Now, all nodes should be ready to go. Use and adjust the workflow as you would normally do. In this example, we are able to make a cartoon image out of the picture of a lady. You are ready to use ComfyUI with RunPod and unleash your creativity with AI images, videos, or any other creation you want with stable diffusion.